If you're watching this video, there's a 70% chance you're more intelligent than average. And if that's true, there's an even higher chance you're unhappier than most people around you. This isn't a coincidence. It's called the intelligence paradox. And for decades, psychologists couldn't explain why the people who should have life figured out are often the ones suffering the most. But recent research has finally cracked the code. And what you're about to learn will completely change how you see your own mind and give you the exact framework to turn your intelligence into an advantage, not a burden. I'm going to break this down into 3 parts. The psychology behind why this happens, the self-improvement traps smart people fall into, and the mental mastery techniques that actually work. Let's get into it. Part 1. The psychology of intelligence and unhappiness. The intelligence paradox explained. Here's what most people get wrong about intelligence. They think being smart means you solve problems faster, make better decisions, and live a happier life. But the data tells a completely different story. Studies from the American Psychological Association found that people with IQs above 130 are significantly more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and existential distress than the general population. The smarter you are, the more your brain works against you. This is the intelligence paradox. The very traits that make you successful, deep thinking, pattern recognition, future planning, are the same traits that make you miserable. Let me explain why. Overthinking and the cognitive burden. Your brain is designed to solve problems. But when you're intelligent, your brain doesn't stop solving problems, it creates them. This is called rumination in psychology. While most people can distract themselves from negative thoughts, intelligent people analyze them. You don't just feel anxious, you analyze why you're anxious, which creates more anxiety, which you then analyze further. It's a cognitive trap, and the smarter you are, the deeper you fall into it. Here's the mechanism. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for complex thinking, is hyperactive. It's constantly scanning for threats, patterns, and inconsistencies. This makes you excellent at your job, but terrible at peace. You can't watch a movie without analyzing the plot holes. You can't have a conversation without reading between the lines. You can't relax because your mind is always 3 steps ahead, calculating risks and outcomes. This is why intelligent people overthink everything from simple decisions like what to eat for dinner, to complex ones like career choices and relationships. Social isolation and emotional disconnect. Intelligence creates another hidden cost: loneliness. When you think differently than most people, you exist in a different world. The conversations that excite you bore others. The problems you care about seem irrelevant to them. The depth you crave feels pretentious to people around you. Research from the Journal of Individual Differences shows that highly intelligent people have fewer close friendships and report lower satisfaction with social interactions. This isn't because smart people are antisocial, it's because meaningful connection requires cognitive similarity. You've probably experienced this, sitting in a room full of people, feeling completely alone. Not because they're bad people, but because you're operating on a different wavelength. And here's where it gets worse. Intelligent people are also more aware of this isolation. You don't just feel lonely, you understand exactly why you're lonely, which makes the loneliness more painful. Existential awareness and the meaning crisis. The final psychological trap is the most devastating: existential awareness. Most people don't think deeply about mortality, purpose, or the nature of reality. Their brains protect them with comfortable illusions and cultural narratives. But intelligent people can't unsee the truth. You're aware that life is finite. You understand that most of what society values is arbitrary. You recognize patterns of meaninglessness in work, relationships, and even personal achievements. This is what philosophers call the burden of consciousness. The more you know, the harder it becomes to find meaning. Psychologist Kazimierz Dabrowski called this positive disintegration, the painful awareness that comes before growth. But most intelligent people get stuck in the awareness phase. They see the problem clearly but can't find a way forward. This creates what I call paralysis by analysis. You're too smart to believe in simple answers, but too aware to accept comfortable lies. Part 2. The self-improvement traps that keep you stuck. The self-awareness paradox. Now let's talk about why self-improvement fails for intelligent people. You've probably consumed hundreds of hours of psychology content, read dozens of self-help books, and understand your patterns better than most therapists. You have incredible self. But here's the trap. Self-awareness without action is just sophisticated procrastination. In my first video, I broke down why self-awareness alone won't change your life. For intelligent people, this problem is even worse. You're so good at analyzing yourself that analysis becomes a substitute for change. You can perfectly explain why you procrastinate, but you still procrastinate. You understand your anxiety triggers, but you still experience anxiety. You know what you should do, but you don't do it. This happens because intelligence creates what psychologists call cognitive distance. You're so good at stepping back and analyzing yourself that you never actually step forward and take action. You become an observer of your own life instead of a participant. The Perfectionism-Procrastination Loop. Here's the second trap. Intelligent people procrastinate more. Not because they're lazy, but because they're perfectionists. When you're smart, you can vividly imagine the perfect outcome. You can see every detail of how something should be done, and that perfect vision becomes a prison. You don't start the project because you can already see all the ways it could fail. You don't have the conversation because you've already played out every possible response. You don't take the risk because you've calculated all the worst-case scenarios. This is analysis paralysis in action, and it's directly connected to intelligence. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows that high IQ individuals delay action more frequently because they can generate more potential outcomes. Your ability to think through possibilities becomes a barrier to doing anything. The cruel irony, while you're thinking, people less intelligent than you are doing and often succeeding. The optimization addiction. The third self-improvement trap is optimization addiction. Intelligent people believe there's a perfect system, a perfect routine, a perfect productivity method that will finally make everything work. So you're constantly tweaking, adjusting, and optimizing. You switch between meditation apps, trying to find the best one. You redesign your morning routine every month. You read about the latest neuroscience hack and immediately tried to implement it. But here's what's really happening. You're using optimization as a form of control in an uncontrollable world. The truth is, there is no perfect system. Life is messy, unpredictable, and resistant to optimization. But intelligent people can't accept this, so they keep searching for the ultimate solution. This creates what I call perpetual preparation mode. You're always getting ready to live, but never actually living. The comparison trap and imposter syndrome. Finally, let's talk about comparison and imposter syndrome. When you're intelligent, you're acutely aware of people who are more intelligent than you. You see their achievements, their clarity, their success, and you feel inadequate. This creates a unique form of imposter syndrome. It's not that you don't recognize your abilities. It's that you're too aware of your limitations. You know exactly where your knowledge ends. You understand the gaps in your thinking. You can see the difference between genuine expertise and your own understanding. This makes you hesitant to speak up, share your work, or claim your space. While less intelligent people confidently offer half-formed ideas, you stay silent because you're aware of what you don't know. The result, your intelligence becomes a cage instead of a catalyst. Part 3. Mental Mastery. The Examined Mind Method. From analysis to action. the implementation framework. Now, here's the solution. Everything we've covered so far is the problem. This final section is how you escape it. The key is understanding that your intelligence isn't the problem, it's how you're using it. Here's the examine mind method for turning intelligence into happiness. Step 1. Time box your thinking. Your brain will think forever if you let it. So, don't let it. Set a timer for your analysis. Give yourself 15 minutes to think through a decision, then make it. Give yourself 30 minutes to plan your week, then execute. This isn't about thinking less, it's about containing your thinking so it serves you instead of consuming you. The rule is simple. Analysis time is finite. Action time is infinite. Step 2. The 70% rule. Intelligent people wait for 100% certainty before acting. But here's what research shows. Decisions made with 70% of available information are just as successful as decisions made with 100%. That extra 30%? It's just anxiety disguised as diligence. So start using the 70% rule. When you have enough information to make a reasonably informed decision, act immediately. Don't wait for perfect clarity. It never comes. This single shift will eliminate 80% of your procrastination. Emotional intelligence. Balancing IQ. Now let's talk about the skill intelligent people neglect. Emotional intelligence. You've spent your life developing your analytical abilities, but emotions aren't problems to be solved, they're signals to be understood. Here's the practice. When you feel an emotion, don't immediately analyze it. First, just feel it. Sit with discomfort for 60 seconds without trying to fix it, explain it, or escape it. This trains your brain to tolerate uncertainty. One thing intelligence struggles with most, emotional intelligence isn't about being less smart. It's about being smart in a different way. It's recognizing that not everything needs to be understood to be valuable. Creating cognitive boundaries. Your mind needs boundaries just like your body needs rest. Set specific times for deep thinking and protect the rest of your time for presence. For example, dedicate 8 to 10 a.m. to strategic thinking and problem solving. But after 10 a.m., when your mind starts analyzing, you actively redirect it to the present moment. This isn't suppression, it's structure. You're not thinking less, you're thinking smarter. The connection protocol. Finding your people. Remember the loneliness we talked about? Here's how to solve it. Stop trying to connect with everyone. Instead, intentionally seek out the 2 to 3% of people who operate at your level. Join communities around your interests. Attend events for your field. Engage in online spaces where depth is valued. Quality over quantity. One meaningful conversation with someone who gets you is worth 100 surface-level interactions. And here's the key. Be willing to share your real thoughts, even if they're unconventional. Your depth is not a flow, it's the filter that attracts the right people. Purpose through contribution. Finally, let's solve the meaning crisis. You won't find purpose by thinking about it. You'll find it by contributing to something larger than yourself. Use your intelligence to serve others. Teach what you know. Solve problems that matter. Create value in your unique way. Meaning isn't discovered, it's created through action. The question isn't what's my purpose. It's what problem can I solve today that makes someone's life better. When you shift from seeking meaning to creating value, everything changes. Conclusion. So here's the truth about the intelligence paradox. Being smart makes life harder, but it also makes you capable of something most people never achieve: true mental mastery. You have the ability to understand yourself deeply, think critically, and see patterns others miss. That's not a curse, that's a superpower, but only if you learn to use it correctly. Stop using your intelligence to overthink. Start using it to take deliberate action. Stop using it to isolate yourself. Start using it to find depth and connection. Stop using it to analyze meaning. Start using it to create value. This is the examine mind method. Awareness plus action equals transformation. If this resonated with you, you're not alone. Check out my video on why you overthink everything. It connects directly to what we covered today. And if you want to go deeper into breaking the self-awareness trap, watch my first video. Subscribe if you want weekly psychology breakdowns that actually change your life, not just fill your head with more information. I'll see you in the next one.